people who have their business through an online only channel have to have contingencies in place.
Yep.
Because you are not in control of your business. Hey everybody, Neil Winteregg here with Matterhorn Business Development. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're having a good day. Today we are here to talk about Etsy. And I am joined by Abby, my sister. She knows more about Etsy than I do. I will admit all I know about Etsy is my wife orders a phone case and I have to go to the post office to pick up a box from either Mongolia, Lithuania, or Latvia.
They make good stuff.
And they arrive and I have to sign for it and it's in a weird box with weird markings and postage and stuff on it. And that is my experience with Etsy.
All right.
So what is going on in the Etsy world of outrage?
Okay, so there's a lot of Etsy drama happening. Oh no. So basically an Etsy overview for maybe you and others who don't know. Etsy's a website where makers, people who make handmade goods can go and they can open an Etsy shop. And
It's like an online platform.
Yeah, they can post their handmade
for whatever
stuff.
you want to make.
Right. And then you as a consumer, you can type in, like crochet hat, and then a bunch of different stores pop up in your search results and you can go and buy a handmade good. Now, when you make the purchase, normally you have to pay the shipper for shipping because it's a person. It's not like Amazon.
Me in my basement making stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to go to the post office and mail it to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they did, as a seller, you can decide to do free shipping. Your pricing is totally up to you. Etsy takes between processing fees and their cut, they take about 8 to 10%. So you have to price based on that. So basically Etsy sent out this announcement and it says, I just want to get the wording right.
Yeah.
So starting on July 30th, we'll give priority placement in US search results to items that ship free to shops that guarantee free shipping to US buyers on orders of $35 or more. So if you as a seller have decided to offer free shipping over $35, you're going to get priority placement.
Okay.
You're going to show up sooner.
This is like an Amazon Prime almost.
Right. So then it says, we'll also begin to prioritize these items wherever Etsy advertises in the US in email marketing, social media, and television ads.
So anybody who's going to be offering free 2-day shipping on their store or items, any item that they might have, is going to basically go to the top of the list.
If it's free shipping over $35, it's not necessarily 2-day.
Okay.
But also it appears even if you're paying Etsy for ads, you're also going to get shoved down if you aren't. So even if you're paying for ads, you still might get buried in the results.
Okay.
I've watched several videos. I even did some research myself. I crochet personally.
Yeah, do you sell anything on Etsy?
I don't sell because of this. There's so much with like pricing an item. People don't understand the effort it takes to make a handmade good, and then they see your price and they don't want to pay you for that. They also don't understand that you're paying for Etsy fees and now even shipping.
So let's say, just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
I crochet a hat.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful, by the way, okay?
I'm sure.
Yeah. And I normally charge $30 for my crocheted hat.
Right.
Plus somebody's gonna pay me shipping.
Yeah.
Let's say it's $7.99.
Right.
All in all, it's gonna come out to be $37.99.
Right.
What if I just change my price to $37.99 now?
Right, so that is definitely, that's kind of the only solution for these people.
But that sucks if I have like a $5 item.
Well, the
like
five,
a keychain.
Right. But again, it's on $35 or more, so someone would have to buy like 6 of your keychains or whatever.
Right.
So I've seen both sides. Some sellers are like, whatever, I don't mind raising my prices.
Probably for some people it doesn't matter.
I saw one girl said, I actually did see an increase in sales when I did that and started offering shipping, and she gets $40 for a hat. Now, other artists are very enraged. They're like, I'm not rolling this into my prices. To them, they think it's dishonest to do that, which again, that's their viewpoint.
Sure.
They don't feel right throwing in hidden costs.
Yep.
The other problem is, for example, some people who make like large paintings, right? So that could be like $100 for the painting alone.
Yeah.
And to ship it costs like $40 or $50. So then do they now have to up their prices by $50? And it changes depending on where in the US they ship to.
So there's a lot of variables.
There's a lot of variables. Some shops are like, this is fine. It's not really going to affect me. I don't mind adjusting my prices. Some people are saying this isn't feasible for me. This is not workable for my product. So,
I think it's interesting because this is the Amazon effect trickling down.
Yeah.
Amazon has been able to change everything to where, and I tell this to people all the time, right? Like even, dentist offices or whatever, right? Amazon has convinced everybody that anything you want you can have in 48 hours, right?
Anything.
And sometimes even less, right?
Yeah.
But at least 48 hours. Like, I don't even go to Amazon and buy anything if I don't get it in 48 hours. I mean,
it's so true.
It's like, I have to wait 3 days to look for a different one, right? You're convinced that you can get anything you want in 48 hours. So what I really see is with this trickle-down effect, online markets and people who have their business through an online only channel have to have contingencies in place because you are not in control of your business. Amazon or Etsy or your little Facebook group that you're a part of, whatever it is, as soon as they change anything, you're screwed. And we've run into this so many times with our Facebook stuff, our Yelp stuff. Every time one of these guys says, oh, you know what, we're going to change our algorithm, you could be affected negatively by that. And so it's really hard, though, to really to get around that. It just sort of is the reality of doing business with these companies.
Like a big option or an option is that these sellers start their own sites and sell directly to the consumer. The problem is then they're also in charge of bringing their own traffic. So that's what was great about Etsy was it allowed anybody to sell, and they had that opportunity to show up in search results and be found. For me, like I said, I don't sell, but mostly because of this, if I wanted to start selling from day one, I would have to figure out how to rank at the top of Etsy, which is its own search engine at this point. You have to SEO. And so what I'm going to do as a consumer, because I'm an artist, I'm a musician, I played the Tampa Bay area for 10 years making $0. So I try to support artists, and as much as possible is if I find something on Etsy, I'm going to try and see if that person has their own website and buy it through there, because then they at least are making a little bit more on it, and
you feel like you're helping them a little bit more.
Yeah, so
this kind of goes back to we interviewed Natalie with Markets for Makers. How like everything is more and more people are starting to try and go local and go direct to small businesses and small shop owners. And I think that you have a great idea is if you find something on Etsy, look and see if there's another alternative that you can do there. And Etsy, I'm sure, started out with the idea of helping these small businesses. The guy in Mongolia making my wife's phone case. The Lithuanian guy who made your shoes, whatever it was, right? But what happens is that as it gets bigger and bigger, the politics change. They get investors.
Well, and they went public. A lot of makers were like, ever since they went public, everything has changed.
And that's what happened with Yelp. We talked about it in Yelp. As soon as they went public, they aren't talking to themselves anymore. Now they have other people who get to have a say in what goes on.
And they just want money. The stockholders, the board members, all they care about is the money and not the customer or the seller. If every seller left Etsy right now, they wouldn't exist. That's not going to happen. But that's why they also...
they're in control. They know that.
Right. So that's why I don't think they really have the seller in mind. I mean, what they're basing this off of is that shoppers are 20% more likely to complete their purchase if an item ships for free. But that's only 20%. That's not like a... If it was like 80% more likely, but like 20% isn't that big.
It's an interesting thing, and I see where they're coming from on it, but if the idea of Etsy was to help the small market maker, then they're turning away from that initial idea. I don't know if that was their initial idea or not. I'm making crap up over here, but it seems like that's what they were there for, is for the individual makers. And it's now moving away into other stuff, which I'm not a big fan of. I love the small idea as well. I love knowing who I'm buying stuff from on social media and who the CEOs of these companies are, and I love that kind of stuff. But this starts to move away from all of that and make it more difficult. So,
I would say as a consumer, I would suggest doing what I'm going to do and try and find these people individually. If you are an Etsy seller, I would say try and get off the platform, or not totally off, but
have
start
a side hustle.
Yeah, start your own site, and people might be able to find you there. People can find you through Instagram. Start selling at your local markets.
Yeah,
start
markets.
a local market if you don't have one.
Look at Markets for Makers. We
Yeah.
interviewed Natalie, the CEO of that, who
We'll
started
link
that.
the video
we'll link
here.
it. But they have all sorts of trade shows popping up. Look for stuff like that where
Yeah.
you can control what's going on.
Right.
And remember, selling is not just done online anymore, okay? That's what everybody thinks, is that
Right.
like this is the wave of the future, and it is, but that's not what a selling is. There's more to it than that. Hopefully, if you work hard, you can override all this and come up with a pricing structure that works for people on here.
Yeah.
Or maybe change your product, or do something that adds value to it, so that instead of charging $15 plus shipping, you can now charge $35 and still have the person feel like they're coming out on top.
Right.
So alter it around, change it around, come up with something. And we'll see you next time. We're running a little long here. If you do want one of my crocheted hats, just leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time.